How's it, guys? Welcome back to FX Rhapsody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to trade the gap in VIX75, volatility 75 index. So what you need to do is, and what I mean by trading the gap is I go to the 1 minute time frame, and this strategy is basically for your scalpers out there and guys opening the chart and to see and trying to figure out where the price is going. So basically what happens is every single time, well, I'm not gonna say every single time, but 98% of the time, what VIX does is it comes and closes little gaps that it forms on the 1 minute time frame. So by gap, what I mean by gap is if you look at this 1 minute chart over here, I've just expanded a little bit so the candles are nice and big. You can see over here there's a gap between the two candles. Now you need to look at the sorry, I'm not so a big fan of MT5 analysis, but just want to see if I can get it. There we go, there's a copy. You can only see this not on your not on your trading view, but you need to look at your MT5 platform to see these gaps forming on the 1 minute. So basically, as you can see, there's a gap between the two candles on the 1 minute. Now, every time there's a gap that forms, because it will come and close the gap. So as you can see over here, price went down, and then eventually it reversed, and it came and it closed that gap. Let's just make another candle here. So if you can see over here, there, it closed that gap, meaning it went in. There we go. It went past that gap. That is what I mean by closing. So you will get a candle that goes and closes that gap, meaning it will fill that gap eventually. So let's just take another example. In this instance over here, you can see the price going down. So if I see, if I look at the 1 minute chart and I'm trading it, I'm not going to enter right away when I see there's a gap forming. I'll enter by the third candle or so, or the second or third, depending on how fast, and not fast, but how full these candles are. But as you can see, by entering on the third candle, you can see this push. And if you had to enter a buy here, just for that little push to the upside, and depending on your lot size, obviously you would have caught a nice little movement to the upside. If you had to hold it a little bit longer, you would have seen it rising up again to the upside. So it all depends on you, when you enter, when you exit. For me, I like to just wait a little bit. I'm not gonna, when this gap forms, I'm not gonna immediately enter and then, wait for this price, because that drawdown might be a little bit steeper than what you think, especially depending on what the market is doing. So there's a couple of things to always look for, but yeah, this is just to show you where price goes normally. Little instance here, so you can see there's a little gap formed and price immediately went and closed it. So in that instance, like I said, I'm waiting for, especially for the little bit longer moves, I'm waiting for the third candle at least to enter. So as you can see here, there was a little gap over here, price went up, immediately came and closed it. So I wouldn't have entered here, because let's say I entered right about there. Yes, you would have caught a little, closing it, but I mean the price went up, so the profit there is a little bit too little. In this instance, you can see the price moving up to the upside. So let's just, you can find these gaps all over. So if you miss a gap now, you just wait a couple of minutes later and you will find it. Normally what I do is I just go about my day, not spending all my time in front of the charts. And every time I open the chart, I just have a look at, okay, where price currently is. Is there a gap or not? Like you can see a gap here. So is there a gap or not? And I just enter depending on where price is. So let's just make this line. It's just want to show you what happens here. Let's just make this black as well. So you can see there's this gap. So let's say I want price to obviously come back to this side. So you enter by the third candle, boof, you enter over here to see that gap fall. So this is where I say, just be careful where you enter. Look at your your margins and all that. Just make sure you don't over leverage when you enter your trade. But as you can see, price went up slightly, and eventually it came and closed that gap right there. Doof. So as you can see, price comes back. Let's just zoom it out a little bit. There you go. So you can see that gap forming. Price went up and it started ranging, and eventually it came and closed that gap to go and carry on to the upside. So, and as you can see in between here, there's also all these little gaps forming there. Price came up, came down to close it again. Excuse me. This I'm just going to show you quickly. It's just practicing your eyes, and just, I mean, for me this works perfectly. I really enjoy this little, scalping thing, and you can make big money, especially if you add them up. So I just want to show you this instance here. This is not a gap, okay? As you can see there. Come on. There, that candle. Okay, let's just leave it there. That candle closed there. The next one went higher up. So it didn't form a gap. A gap needs to be when there's a difference between your highest and your lowest of a candle. Let's just do that. You can see there is a gap. And again, let's just zoom out. As you can see, price went up, enter by the third candle. Now you wait a little bit. It all depends on you, and boom, it comes and closes that gap. So in this instance, again, you can wait and see where price is relative to what you are trading in your trading style. Let's say is at the end of an hour, or whatever the situation, depending on how you trade VIX. Don't just always look at this one strategy. I mean, all these little strategies and tips and hints, they all fold together, especially when you trade VIX. So, and you can see it coming and closing it. Again, we're going to show you a couple of, let's just delete these ones. There's a gap. As you can see, price went up. You enter by the third candle, sell for the gap, and it comes and closes the gap. And that little movement to the downside, and like I said, depending on your lot size, it is a couple of dollars. So you catch a couple of dollars here. There's a small little gap, enter by the third one, right about here. Boof, it comes and closes it. There's a couple of dollars there, and this is a couple of minutes out, away from each other. It forms a big gap here, enter by the third candle, right about here somewhere, and you wait, and bam, it closes the gap, like you see there. Boof, another couple of dollars. So this is a nice scalping strategy, if you can say that. Little gap that formed there. I mean, third candle didn't close or didn't open, but I mean, it closed the gap. So you can see it all over. You can just scan through your charts, and you will see these little gaps forming. And especially when you open, so let's say you open your chart and this movement happened over here, and you open your chart and you relatively, you open your chart and you see, obviously this hasn't happened, and you see prices over here, and you think to yourself, okay, where's price going to go? And you start looking up, and then you can see, and just scroll up on your chart, and you can see that right there. Poof. Where's the other one? And you can see there, little gap forming. You open your chart, price is round about over here. You think to yourself, okay, cool. I think, well, not think, but looking at these gaps, it will always come a fill up. You enter a buy here, bam, and you see price moving up. You're already in profit. Go a little bit into drawdown, and eventually, poof, and it goes and closes that gap. So, guys, what I want to tell you is just go and look at the strategy, especially if you're trading VIX75. This thing works like a bomb, especially if you just want to grab a couple of pips during the day, or every now and then if you're not sitting in front of the chart. If you are sitting in front of the chart, just be careful not to overlook it, not to overthink it. Again, try not to enter too early. Like I said, wait for that, if a gap forms, wait for that third candle to form to see how it's going. And after that third candle, you can enter. even a little bit longer. In this instance, you can see. So when you enter, just be careful about your lot size, about your account size, not to over leverage it. So if it does go into drawdown a little bit, which it normally does, you know, it's that it doesn't just, you know, your account, you fold your account or close your account due to that. Because like I said, in this instance, if you had to open a buy here, you can see price going up, and then there's a small little gap forming over there, which you can sell down, doof, and going up, and eventually it goes and closes that gap. So it's the direction. It's VIX always hunts those gaps. It always goes and closes those gaps. So yeah, practice your entries, and you can see the pips coming your way. Guys, hope you are having a wonderful day. Like I said, practice this again. If you enjoy this, don't forget to press that like button, comment in the comment section, let me know what you think. And yeah, just subscribe to the channel. There's some more interesting videos coming your way. So enjoy your day, guys, and stay safe.